Hey guys, what's going on? This is Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com. In today's video, we're going to walk over all of the neat features on the Winning Strength Good Morning machine. Now, before we get to this video, please like, subscribe, and check out our sponsors, ATP Labs, who have been very gracious to help us out with the videos and also make some of the best supplements in the world that's been proven by a lot of my firemen's blood work and a lot of my clients' blood work and my own blood work. So again, if you want the top level supplements, go to ATP Labs. So let's get to the video and let's go over the Cadillac or the Mac Daddy of Good Morning machines. Normal good mornings are one of the best exercises that we can do to build the entire posterior chain, including the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, and overall spinal posture. But for a lot of people, they don't want to use a straight bar or a safety bar. Furthermore, what we see is a lot of people are scared to do good mornings because if they get out of control, it's not an easy lift to spot. It's not an easy lift to set up to spot. And therefore, it can be really hard on your neck utilizing either a straight bar or even a safety bar in some instances. So what we did was create a good morning machine that allowed us to have a lot of different variables in our good morning training to help with our squatting, our deadlift, and our overall health. What we find is that lower back pain is usually caused by weak lower back muscles. So if you're chasing away from an exercise because it hurts your lower back, you have to ask yourself, is that bad for your lower back? Or maybe you're just going too hard, too heavy, or too much reps in the very beginning and not giving yourself enough ample time to recover. The big problem that we have today is that 85% of the workforce is not manual labor. It's sitting down at a desk on a computer or doing something sort of that nature. So we automatically are in a spinal compressive issue that is not strengthening the muscles whatsoever. It's actually weakening them and making some of them extremely long and some of them short, including the hip flexors. So what I find is that when you train the good morning machine, you end up fixing a lot of the posterior chain issues, and it allows you to do it in a safe way, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Okay, one of the first big things that the good morning machine does that the safety bar and the straight barbell can't do is the fact that it's way more comfortable. It's not around your neck. So on a safety bar, when you're leaning over, all of that weight is on your cervical spine. For some people, it's impossible. With a straight bar, it's on your back, but it has a tendency to want to roll around and not stay in a good position, which could cause it to roll off your back or roll forward if you're going deep enough. What I find with this machine is that it doesn't allow either of those things to happen. So when I get in here, notice the pad is completely against my back. Now, what I like about this is we built this pad almost 4 feet wide. So Hafthor Bjorgesson fits in this machine. There's some video somewhere of him using this one at the gym. And it's super comfortable. It doesn't hurt my back at all. So that's one big advantage to using the Winning Good Morning machine is that you got a lot of spinal safety in the top and a lot of comfort to be able to go harder and focus on the muscles in which you're trying to build. So one of the biggest advantages to the Winning Good Morning machine is the 4-foot base on the floor. The 4-foot base on the floor allows me to put it in a conventional stance, a sumo stance, and everywhere in between. And I find that most machines and other companies that have made similar machines to this just don't think about bigger or wider stance lifters. This machine covers all of those bases. And so that's why we built it with a 4-foot width particular base pad in order for us to be able to train in multiple angles and hit the hamstrings and the glutes and the lower back just a little bit different. There's a lot of times when my back is a little bit pissed off and I'll go narrow and it doesn't like it. I go out wide and I can do the exercise. Modify, don't miss. So if a piece of machine allows you to move and mix and match where you feel good or bad, it allows you to keep training through those little nicks and bruises that we oftentimes get with training. So again, the 4-foot base is a huge factor for the Winning Strength Good Morning machine. So the next big thing that might be a little bit hard to see in the video is we've got a gap point here for crotch protection and / just comfort. So when I decided to make this machine, one of the other ones that I had trained on was just a solid pad all the way through. was not really fun on the pubic bone or private parts, especially going super heavy. So I made a gap in between that, and I've noticed it takes away all of that particular issue. It's another small thing that we've thought about at Winning Strength to make sure that the machine is usable, functional, and comfortable. So let's see how it works. So when I get in here, you can see I got a gap from my crotch to where it won't put pressure there. It's right here. Now let's see how it works. I pull this sleeve, you can see here, I pull it all the way to my hip, okay? Once I pull that to my hip, it's free and the weight is on me. So now I go down and then I come up. Smooth, effortless, and I cannot cheat. I am locked into position. It's forcing me to use glutes. It's forcing me to use hamstrings, and it's forcing me to stabilize my lower back without worrying about if I'm going to get pinched in this, which we'll show next. But notice how smooth this thing works. We're using elevator grade bearings with a 1-inch solid stainless steel tubing. This thing is nearly indestructible. One of the other features that I really like is this spot right here. This is adjustable self-spotter. We also have these on the belt squat machine, and we pull this safety pin, and now we can adjust this wherever we want to. This allows us to go as deep as we want. It also is a protective mechanism. So let's put it at pin 4. So pin 4 is a good spot for me if I want to train as heavy as I possibly can without having to worry about if I have spotters. So how does that work? Well, if you notice in the previous part of the video, you saw how this machine functions. I pull this here. Now, what I can do is, let's say I've blasted out, I don't know, 6 reps or so, right? Now I'm fatigued. I'm starting to get tired, but I don't have any spotters to help. I get down to the bottom. I can't get it, and I fail. I can crawl right out of it. It's going to stick right where I want it to stick. It's going to hold as much as I want it to hold. And now I have an insanely protective machine that allows me to train super heavy if my training partners don't make it that day. So again, this is one of the biggest safety features that we put on this machine in order for coaches and people training in their garages by themselves to be able to train the good morning insanely heavy and not have to worry about a spotter. Now, something else I really like about this machine, and I've kind of zoomed in to show you, is we have this other pin here. Now this looks like a weird contraption, but what we did was, when I was studying a lot of the Soviet literature, they talked tons about functional isometrics. And so what I did was I created a few different holes that I felt were the most advantageous positions for both the deadlift and if you get kind of in a bad position on the squat. And so what we would do is we would change and put the pin here. So now if I have a lockout position problem with my deadlift, for example, I can train that isometrically. So what I'll do is I'll take it out, lift it, come down like I'm doing a normal rep, come up, and that pin's gonna hit right here. Notice, you ever seen people miss right at the end of the lockout on a deadlift? Now I can push against that pin as hard as I want to, and then relax, run the lever and push it back. So now I can train 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spots of isometrics on this machine, making it one of the only ones I've ever seen be able to do that. So again, this is one of these pieces that, in my opinion, for the amount of space that it takes up in a facility, is a non-negotiable. Most athletes and most general populations are weak in the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back. This machine fixes all of those problems, and it does it in a safe way. So go check out Winning Strength. Go check out some of the equipment. This thing also has band attachments for it, which makes it insanely versatile. It's awesome to use bands on. But again, there's so much adjustability to it, and there's so many neat features like the self-spotter and the isometric pins. It's a no-brainer. Talk to you guys later.